visual. I see it all.
All right, my people, how you doing today? This is Visual. I'm your host for IC Web3, and today my guest on the show is Mikhaila Stettler. How you doing, Mikhaila?
I'm good. Hi, Visual. Hi, everybody out there. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm excited to talk to you. You know, we met through a space. I heard you talking about, mental health, mindfulness, and the metaverse and things of that nature. And I was extremely interested because all of that is it's part of what I do. It's part of my life. It's part of my passions. And it's part of what I'm, continuing to learn and educate myself on. And I'm very curious to find out more about the projects you're working on and everything. So let's get right into this. So my first question for you, Mikhaila, is, in your own words, how do you see Web3?
Wow. I kind of see it like this horizon line of expanding possibilities. That's how I see it. I see it as like the same way that when the internet really came online and then social media, how it like radically changed everything. I think Web3 will be equal or probably greater transformation over the next 5 years.
Awesome. And what about Web3? What attracts you to Web3?
Well, oh gosh, let me think about this. There's a number of things. It's definitely the kind of opportunity for decentralization, sovereignty, more safety, privacy, security, but much more opportunity for connection and creation of value as well, where one of the organizations I'm involved with is a nonprofit. They're my nonprofit partner, and part of their whole mission is about eradicating poverty by jumpstarting people into DeFi and crypto and NFTs and giving them like the equipment and training and access. Because if we have, however many hundreds of millions of people who have no access to Web3, like the gap, it's just intolerable to me. So one of the things is definitely that is like the things that you can create, the value that can be created, the way that we can sort of break through the scarcity patterning on this planet.
Mikhaila, tell me, what ways are you already involved in Web3?
Well, I started, like many people, like I'd known about this for a while because I have a friend who's very, very involved with this. They have a company, really big company that's doing kind of the protocols that will set up for the interoperability. So I've been aware of it for a while, but as an artist, when Beeple's NFTs sold for 69 million. I was like, maybe it's time now. I think I should check this out. And I'd been having visions of what I wanted to do in this space and just waiting for the technology to kind of get there. And then this summer I started really diving in and first started learning about NFTs and then getting involved with getting up to speed on the NFT as an artist, how to build a community in the space, how to mint, how to deal with the crypto and the wallets and all of that. So my entree was turning these immersive video journeys that I was creating, turning them into an NFT, like different tiers of NFTs with those. So not just like flat art, but an actual immersive experience. So that was my beginning, was getting in as an artist and learning about NFTs.
Nice. That's awesome. It's so funny. You mentioned Beeple's, right? And the $69 million. I think that's something that would grab anybody's attention, right? And the funny thing about it is that I didn't hear about Beeple's until I heard like other stories, and I heard, somebody I knew somebody that, hey, this guy made $2,000 off this JPEG, man. And I'm like, oh, hey, that sounds pretty good. A couple $1,000. And then I hear about Beeple's. I'm like, okay, wow, that's a whole other level right there. So it's just crazy how It's just gotten to that point, but I think everybody's starting to realize the importance and the utility behind a lot of these NFTs and what they mean to the community of people in Web3. And then I think just the artist community in general. To me, that's the greatest thing to me as an artist. I make music, and as an artist, to be able to see other artists be empowered the way they are through NFTs, it's just like, I'm there for it. I'm there to support, and I'm there to take advantage of finally getting something back that I feel has been so hard to work for, because it's very difficult as an artist.
Well, I will say, kind of getting rid of the gatekeepers and centralized control is awesome.
Yes.
On the other hand, realistically, if you are an artist in whatever medium that you work in,
right,
it does then shift the onus on you for the marketing and community building. Yes, you can mint something, but if nobody knows or cares about you,
it's going to be tough.
It doesn't really matter. So one of the things about that listeners should know is that if you really are getting into this space, it's totally about building community.
Yes.
And I would also say you want to be very discerning about the communities that you get involved with, because just like in quote real life, you can be in a community of assholes and scammers, or you can be in a community 100%. Of really high quality people who are very generous and authentic and sincere. So I've been very fortunate to really get connected with people who are the real deal and not like, and I've been like shown all the little things like, okay, don't ever do that. Don't ever click a link like this.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Refuse the DMs. Don't do any of that. So anyway, yeah,
that's great though. It's I think community is definitely a major key. It's interesting because me as an independent artist, I've been making music for so long, for years, and it was just such a easy transition for me to say, hey, I'm going to get into the NFT space because they're starting to do what I've been doing for a very long time. And I've just been independent with no help, no record label, no marketing company, none of that stuff. I've just been doing it all by myself and anybody that was, working with me. So I love it. And I think it's something that I love to see like on a bigger level, because I feel NFTs have brought that kind of like guerrilla marketing and indie label type of feel to the art world. And I just love it because I think it's going to open up a lot of eyes and a lot of minds from people that didn't realize they could do it. And I just love to see that empowerment. It's awesome. Mikhaila, I want to ask you from, what you've already been involved in Web3, what you're learning. Do you remember that moment when you were like, hey, I want to get in this. I want to get into this stuff right here. Do you remember what that time was like?
I think it was something like I knew because of this friend I mentioned, like he'd been developing their protocol, but it's really just for enterprise level, like huge businesses and government. So I always knew, okay, I'm going to be in that space. But I think definitely it was last year around this time when I saw, okay, Christie's, going through like one of the biggest auction art dealers in the world. Now it's time. Now I need to start thinking about it. And then I had a new line of work that I was developing. So once I produced the first 2 prototypes of it, that was when I started to really start educating myself. And it definitely was a steep learning curve. I would love to share with your listeners a resource that's totally free because they're amazing. So one of the communities that I got involved with, and actually I was involved from the very beginning when they launched it, because I had met the core founder earlier in the summer, is called the Dream Conduit. Conduit. You can find them on any of the socials, Clubhouse. So their mission is to onboard artists of all kinds into the NFT space. They offer so much education and help. You can consult one-on-one with the leads of their different teams, and it's a carbon neutral nonprofit DAO. So they're doing amazing work and really good quality people, and they connect you to really good quality people. So they are a great resource for anybody who's an artist, whether musician, filmmaker, visual artist, whatever you might be, into the space. I highly recommend them.
Amazing.
Definitely
amazing.
Their clubhouse rooms are the place to be.
Awesome. Definitely going to check that out. And yeah, you guys listening in, make sure you check out Dream Conduit. It sounds like an awesome resource for everybody. Mikhaila, from being in Web3, what have you learned the most, whether it's about yourself or just being in the space, that you would like our listeners to know?
Well, there's a few things that I would say. Like, definitely the learning curve is steep right now because things need to be more developed that make it easier to enter into the space. And tons of people are working on it. It will get better over the next 12 to 18 months. So given that, you need to just be patient with yourself. Don't get overwhelmed. Just be consistent, keep learning, and try things out. Don't take too many risks until you really know what you're doing in anything. Be very discerning about it. Watch out for FOMO. That'll hook you like crazy. There's a lot of hype. So you need to have a system for yourself to really take a breath, center. You need to, like, whatever the possibilities and potentialities are in Web3, you still live in a body, and your well-being is going to be very dependent on the things that you do to calm and balance and ground your nervous system. So that would be some of the advice, is that you really have to balance your forays with real life, physical world things, being out in nature, doing exercise, some kind of meditation, breathing practices, eating well, stepping away from your screens. Like you have to balance it. You definitely can get burnt out if you don't.
100%. I love it. I think it was great. What stood out to me when you said you got to have some sort of system, right? Because I definitely, can relate to the FOMO, because I feel like everything that I see coming out, I'm like, oh my God, I want that. That is, the art is so awesome. The utility is so awesome. I love this artist. I love this. I love what they're doing. I love what they're going to do. Like, it's just, there's so many things that make me feel like I want to be part of it. And, my first initial thing when I got into the NFT space was, I'm just going to get art that I like, and that's kind of what I started to do. And then, I had a couple friends that are close to me in the space, and we're like, man, you gotta try to make some money off this stuff. You can't just collect art and you gotta try to flip some of it, because they know I'm not just trying to flip it. I want to be in it for long term and support great artists and movements and utilities that I respect. And so I just had to, start stepping away from that and just kind of have a system of I'm going to buy these kind of NFTs from these kind of artists that have this type of utility behind it, or this type of, background, or this is what they want to do after they, do this, that, and the third. So it definitely helps. I think that's a great pointer.
Yeah, I think, maybe okay, I'll put X amount, if you have your total amount of resources that you're willing to invest in this. Yeah. Okay, X amount for Genesis projects, and this amount for art that I just want it, or I just really believe in the artist, or I want to support them, and really be very smart about it, because it's a wild west out there. I'm telling you,
you're gonna get broke fast if you don't have a system. Trust me, I already know, because in the last couple of weeks, my friends are like, "Hey, this is coming out." I'm like, "Look, I gotta take a break. I don't have the extra money to buy more ETH, or I don't have any more crypto to move around, and I just need to slow down, guys. So please stop sending me messages about new cool projects, because it's killing me. It hurts. I take it kind of personal. I'm like, I want it and I can't get it. So tough. 100% relate to that. Mikhaila, I want to hear about challenges. what kind of challenges have you faced in Web3 and how have you overcome them?
I think for me, actually, I'm still working on overcoming them because my vision, and I've had this vision for years. I mean, literally years, like when VR was first coming out, I saw right away that it had the potential for me to take people of any background, didn't matter, gender, age, meditator, not a meditator, take them into a mystical experience and activate their own spiritual connection and inner knowing. I knew I could do this. And, it's been a long haul. Like, we're still at a point where VR headsets, it's only a very small percentage of the population has that. But it's getting more, and it will get more, because this is what a big part of the whole Web3 is that you can have really scalable individual and social extended reality experiences in there, and the hardware will keep getting better. And so this is really my vision, was I don't want to create these immersive art experiences where, maybe 100 people can benefit from it. I want to create something that hundreds of thousands of people can use at any time, 24/7, and shift their state, come into an expanded state of consciousness. Depending on the experience, whatever they need, they would choose, okay, I need more peace and serenity. I want to open my heart. I just need to have get out of my head, whatever it is. So the challenge for me is really finding the way to scale this and to not be kind of stuck in this mode of I'm an individual artist, but to create a platform that is in a new model. It's not that old world subscription model, walled garden, you have to pay to get in. That's old world. The Web3, why would we bring the old models into something that gives us so many other possibilities, where you can come in? I don't care if you have no money, you just have access. You can come in, and through your interaction with these immersive, mystical journeys, you can earn value. You can earn NFTs. It's kind of this convergence. So my challenge right now is really kind of figuring out how to get this work scaled and to bring together the kind of team and community who share this vision and want to see this happen, because I want to create work that will activate your inner senses, your mystical connection. Because if we don't transform the consciousness on the planet, we're not going to solve the problems. We can't solve the problems using the same kind of thinking and mindsets that have created them. We have to get bigger. Yes. So that's really my mission.
I love it. I love to hear it. And it's so perfect that, you brought it out like that, because it takes me to my last question of this set of questions here. I want you to get specific about what you're doing in the metaverse and Web3. Talk to me about your projects. Give me some specifics, give me the names, what you're doing with them, anything that you want to share with the listeners.
Right. And we'll have links in the show notes so you guys can come after and see. So what I've been doing, and it's kind of an arc of iteration. So where I'm at right now is I've been creating these kind of immersive video journeys. Now VR, they're coming into VR and like a dome experience too in metaverse, where it takes you in the space of 3 minutes or less, like the length of a song on the radio. You enter this magical world that I build in real life in a tabletop sand tray. And there's a whole spoken word narrative and incredible sound design and sound healing music with it, all original. And so it takes you on this journey, shifts your whole state in under 3 minutes. And your opened eyes, it doesn't matter if you can meditate or not. So that's what I've been doing, like as my developmental path, right? Okay, now I did the 2D videos. It proved the concept, right? I totally proved that I can do this and that it affects people. So the next thing that I'm imagining, here's what I really want to do, is to create it as a more extended interactive VR experience where you can interact with the piece and you can create inside it yourself, where you can buy elements of the piece as NFTs and you can move them around and create your own experience in there.
Love it.
And then the next iteration after that is to really create this as a kind of mystical, spiritual, creative game and VR adventure where you go into the world and you're interacting. So like the piece, the most recent piece is called Star Children in the Realm of Unlimited Possibility. And there's a portal in that piece. So for example, you could become one of those characters and you go through the portal. And then when you go through the portal, you're in another world. Or there's another element in that piece where it's like a flame inside a pool, blue pool, right? You can go into that flame into another reality, and you can like there'll be elements where you interact with it like game-like, but not game-like where you're like shooting something or doing something. It's something that is going to stimulate your inner senses, the senses that we all have. That's what we use when we have a mystical experience. It's not intellectual. It's not, your normal 5 senses. So that's the next version is VR, more extended VR journeys, and then fully interactive VR game environments.
Wow. That sounds
Doesn't that
so
sound cool?
Awesome. I love it. Everything you're saying, I'm just like, I feel like a kid. I'm like, wow, I can't wait to do that. Like, that sounds so good. And and is it all going to be like, like with a headset, like in the metaverse? Like, is it going to be augmented reality, virtual reality? How is it going to look?
It'll probably be like across the board, where there'll be like a headset where you have to use like a head-mounted display, like a VR experience, and with some kind of like haptic gloves, so you have some manipulability where you can like more than just like the joysticks, where you can do a little bit more tactile, like there's things that you can do. There'll probably be some sort of AR version. And I also am very interested in like digital to physical and back and forth. So then we would also have live events in big dome theaters where you're inside, like, I don't know if you haven't been inside a full dome, probably a lot of people have been inside a planetarium. So that's what that experience is like. Nice. And without having to wear a headset and with other people live, because like as a musician, there's no substitute for live performance. Nothing will ever remove or give what live performance with other people, with an audience. It's a unique, only for that moment in time experience.
Yes.
So it'll be across everything. And you could also have it where you could just do like maybe AR glasses and have it from any mobile, whatever your access point is, because all of this is changing and developing. Like it's definitely, we needed Web3 for VR and AR to have enough of basis to function. Sure. You can't do it really very well with just Web2.
I love it. I think this is so exciting, and I can't wait to see it develop. And I'm extremely interested. So you definitely have my attention. So I love it. I can't wait to hear more about it and to actually see it and to experience it. That's what I'm even more looking forward to. Mikhaila, we're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and then we're going to get into what I like to call the gas round. So my people, we'll be right back with you.
Hi, we're the Z Twins, and we want you to check out our family website, phrazeme.com. That's PHRAZE me.com. We make cool designs for your home and your clothing. Our mom, our dad, and even our sisters make special designs just for you. When you're purchasing your first item, we want you to enter the code ZTwin so that way you can get 15% discount off of your first purchase. Don't forget that's phrasememe.com. Thank you.
All right, my people, we are back here with Mikhaila, and we're going to get right into the gas round. Mikhaila, you ready?
I am.
All right. So, what is your biggest challenge as an artist?
Funding for the expensive productions.
Ooh, yes. How about your biggest challenge as a collector?
Also, wanting to just more money, more money to buy more things.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, that's basically it.
What is your biggest strength as an artist?
I'm like a creative portal. It just pours through me and I'm never blocked because I use creative intuition, like a mystic attunement. Mm-hmm. So I always have a flow of creative inspiration.
Nice. And what is your biggest strength as a collector?
I have a very discerning eye and I read energy. So I get very high quality pieces.
Awesome. What's the greatest thing you're looking forward to in Web3?
Being able to scale, turning people onto mystical experiences.
Awesome. Do you have a daily routine or habit that helps you stay focused on your goals?
Actually, yeah, I do. It's so part of my life. I do a lot of meditation and attunement to kind of purpose and intent, like what is my deepest soul purpose, what will be the most fulfilling to me. So I daily meditate with that or journal about it, do some kind of practice around purpose.
Awesome. Now this question, you mentioned something earlier, but give us something else, either an app, software, or service that just helps you through your experience.
Well, I have, I don't know if that I would say it helps me through my experience, but I've kind of reluctantly come into the Discord community. I say reluctantly because I think the user interface and user experience kind of sucks. But now that I've gotten over whining and complaining about it, it does give me connection and keeps me up to speed with all the communities that I need to stay current with that are in the Web3 space.
Yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned Discord because I feel the same way. I have so many opinions about Discord. I'm not a big fan, but honestly, at the end of the day, it does serve its purpose and it's really a great tool. So I want to end here. Just give us some final personal advice or any final words for our listeners. And please, after that, let us know where we could find you.
Yeah. I think the final words that I would say is educate yourself. There are a lot of free resources. Be very discerning. Check them out. Like really have your bullshit detector on strong. Yes. And but educate yourself and only go into the communities where you are being welcomed and people are generous. If they're having attitudes or judgment or like, any kind of critical shaming thing, just leave. Don't even waste your time there. There's plenty of really good people who want to help you and who are genuine. So that would be my biggest advice for newbies. And then where you can find me is, again, I'm a kind of reluctant social media person, but I am on Twitter and Instagram. I do show up in Clubhouse rooms. Definitely, if you want to know any of the events that I'm doing and new work that's coming out, please just sign up on the newsletter, the email list. So we'll put links to my website. It's just my full name, MikhailaStettler.com. And from my Twitter and Instagram, there's a link tree and you can always see what's happening with that. But I do free live stream events fairly regularly, where I take you into a guided activation with the immersive art experience. So, and we usually have a sound healing that goes along with it. So if you sign up, you'll know about it. Otherwise, it's hit or miss if you catch it on social media.
Awesome. I love it. I'm definitely going to out and sign up. And I definitely suggest you guys do the same if you want to be part of everything that Mikhaila's doing, which is extremely awesome so far. I can't wait to be part of it. Mikhaila, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us. And to everybody
Visual,
out
thank
there.
you. Thank you for inviting me and for, doing this and really serving the community by offering this podcast.
Yes, of course. I love it. I just love to show my passion and to continue to learn and meet people like yourself that are doing awesome things. And, obviously, I'm here. If there's anything I could ever do that helps you out in any way, please feel free to reach out. You know how to contact me. And I'm looking forward to continuing to build and connect with you.
Well, actually, I have an idea.
Oh.
What if we do an event for your community? What if we do an experience for your community? We can talk. Let's plan that.
Yes, I love it. You guys see and hear this live here right now on the podcast. We're already making plans for something. That's the beautiful thing. I'm telling you, since I've been part of this space, nothing but awesome stuff like this has happened. Somebody just says, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, hey, I'm open for it. Love it. Mikhaila, I appreciate you. I can't wait to talk to you after this. My people, thank you for listening in. And once again, and as always, peace, blessings, and hundreds of lessons. I'm your host, Visual. This is IC Web3.